No matter what's on special offer in the grocery stores, eating well is still a luxury for increasing numbers of British families. Low wages and slashed welfare mean food banks, or even theft indeed, to keep their children fed. Polly Boyker's got the story of those beneath the breadline.
For this struggling mother, it's a hand-to-mouth existence, with the pressure of 2 hungry mouths to feed. Gemma receives her small shop assistant wage and her state benefits every Tuesday.
Sometimes I'll wake up on a Sunday and I will literally have £5 in my purse. And I think, right, what can I do with £5?
Not much when you're living on the breadline. 1 in 5 mothers in Britain, just like Gemma, regularly skip meals just to feed their children.
You want to make nutritional meals for your kids. You hear it all the time on the TV, how they should be eating the 5 a day and fresh meats, but you know, sometimes you just literally can't do it and you have to buy them the 77p basic cottage pie because that's literally all you can afford.
For the single mother, managing a tiny budget is turning into a puzzle that's harder and harder to solve.
We are seeing a lot more families telling us that they have to make this difficult choice between things like eating and heating, putting food on the table or paying the bills. Part of this is driven by problems in benefit administration, sanctions being applied often inappropriately that leave people having to go to food banks.
Food banks such as this one, run by the Trussell Trust. The charity first started working with abandoned children in Bulgaria, but they switched over to the UK when they discovered what they call hidden hunger in Britain. 3 food banks open every week in the UK now, and in unexpected areas like Kensington and Chelsea, warehouses like these distribute store cupboard staples and tinned food to families that are in need of emergency provisions. In fact, over 200,000 people had to turn to food banks last year in order to get fed. That's double the amount on the year before. So if the sad dynamic persists, food banks like these are going to have to get a whole lot bigger in order to feed Britain's struggling families. Charities say that some parents are so desperate to feed their children that they consider stealing. It's become such a reality that police have been known to take hungry shoplifters to food banks instead of arresting them.
A lot of the people that come to food banks have stories which are really heartbreaking, and we've had people coming to food banks who've been forced to choose between eating and feeding their children, and that's something we see very regularly.
Just like Gemma's, over half of Britain's impoverished children have parents that are in work, and the issue of putting food on the table eats up their lives.
I come to a Monday, literally sitting there on a Monday evening, waiting to check the balance, make sure nothing's still there. It kind of controls you a little bit. It kind of takes over your life. Because when you're going week to week to week on a small amount, you're thinking, right, I'm going to get this money on Tuesday. And I'll do a list, right, this has got to be paid out, this has got to be paid out, right, that leaves me that much for shopping. It takes over your thinking for most of the week.
And with the cost of basic necessities, including food, rising all the time, Gemma lives on a diet of daily struggle and worry about the future. Polly Boyko, RT, London.